So, okay, let me introduce you to Abhishek, who is our trainer for this HP Vertica. Abhishek is having 10 plus years of experience in data warehouse and big data industry, and he's working in HP Vertica for quite couple of some years. And he is the trainer for this HP Vertica, and he has provided a lot of classroom, online as well as offline trainings in HP Vertica and help professionals like you to learn Vertica, or he has also provided some project supports in HP Vertica. So today we have Abhishek in this webinar. He will guide us, he will tell us about Vertica, and he will go through this webinar. Again, I will repeat, guys, any questions, feel free to ask. We want this webinar to be as much interactive as possible. Okay, so now I will hand over the mic to Abhishek. Abhishek, I have unmuted you. Whenever you are ready, just start with this webinar, Abhishek.
Welcome to this Vertica session. Myself Abhishek, and rest thing is already discussed with you. Here we are talking about the HP Vertica and what are the advantages, certain use cases, and what is the current market scenario of HP Vertica and how it can help you in the current your job profile. So there are a few things. Okay, so basically, what is the purpose of HP Vertica? Why in the current market scenario, HP Vertica is in very demanding or something, right? Because if you're talking about the columnar database point of view, right now HP Vertica and SAP HANA is also available, but since Vertica is very cheap, so most of the clients are using Vertica. Okay, so if you're talking about the Vertica point of view, Vertica is basically built for analytic purpose. Vertica Analytic Database create an elegant architecture for large volume, high availability analytic platform applications. Pure columnar database. Just a moment. Okay, Vertica partitioning by column, extensive use of compression, and hybrid model for storage reduce the IO operations for queries. Since it is like columnar database, so obviously it is like reducing the IO required for queries. It supports all kind of SQLs. Basically, it follows NC SQLs. We can integrate Vertica with the ETLs. Okay, any reporting and the data visualization tools, as well as this totally support for JDBC, ODBC, and specific language bindings. Vertica is again working with Oracle-like SQL prompt. So here it is vSQL. And Vertica can be run on different OS flavors like RHEL, SUSE Linux, Debian, Ubuntu. Vertica database, the best part about the Vertica data analytic database that it runs on a cluster of commodity servers. So that makes cost effective. So you just need to add commodity hardwares and you can execute. Unlike Teradata, it is very costly to add a single node, but in Vertica you just need to add certain kind of hardware and you can boost the performance as well as performance, and it will be cheap. So let's go through the Vertica history. Basically, it's an analytic database management software company. It was acquired by Hewlett Packard around 2011. After November 1st, 2015, Vertica is a part of HP Enterprise. And June 2013, they came with the one platform that called it Heaven. Heaven is a platform which is a combination of the multiple technologies like Hadoop, Autonomy, Vertica, Enterprise Security. So they call it complete package. Parallelly, HP Vertica provides something for semi-structured data that is called the HP Vertica Flex tool, which allows organization to explore semi-structured data. So, within your RDBMS, what you can do, you can, if you want to perform certain kind of semi-structured data analysis, you can do that. For that, Vertica provides separate kind of schema and everything that called the Flex tables. You can do, it's a kind of schema-less table. So, what thing made Vertica better? So, these are the certain flavors with the Vertica package available. which will help you to analyze different kind of analysis. Let's see what is Vertica Pulse. So, it's again a package which you need to install on top of Vertica database. Basically, it provides for the sentiment analysis. You can analyze and extract the Twitter data or any kind of data on which you can perform certain kind of sentiment analysis, and you can see whether it is positive, negative, or neutral. Vertica Place, HP Vertica provide this place functionality that allow you to manipulate complex 2D spatial objects. These functions follow the Open Geospatial Consortium standards. Basically, it's for latitude, longitude kind of details it can give you. Vertica with R. These days, R is very much important, and like it helps data scientists in many ways. If you know either R or Python, it's good to know. So Vertica packages come with the R as well. There's one RPM file of Vertica which is available with the R. What you need to do, you just need to install that RPM package on your Vertica server, and you can utilize all the functionalities of R. There are certain R ODBC, you just need to download certain libraries, you need to include it. Then come to flux table. Flux table, basically it's again, as I explained you, that load semi-structured data in schemaless flux table. If you're not sure about what kind of data is coming or about your data types, you can use flux table. Let's suppose you need to store some Twitter data and you are not sure about data types and all. You can load that kind of data in flux table, and after that you can do your sentiment analysis or whatever analysis you want. There are a lot of Vertica integrations also available. Vertica's best integration is Hadoop. So you can directly connect Vertica with the Hadoop with the given certain plugins, okay? And it can be connected with the Hortonworks, Cloudera, or MapR. What you can do, you can import HDFS data into Vertica, or you can use HDFS as a storage for Vertica. The second option is pretty useful because when you don't want to store whole all history data into the Vertica, what you can do, you only maintain your Vertica database with the current data or 2-3 years of data, and remaining amount of data you can store in HDFS. Means you can use HDFS as a Vertica archival, and whenever it is required you can pull the same data, or you can directly read from Vertica itself. Even though data is in Hadoop, you can directly read from Vertica database. There are plugins available for that, like HDFS connector or OR. Even Vertica provides this ORC reader facility as well. Integration with Apache Kafka. Vertica provides a high performance loading mechanism for streaming data from an Apache Kafka message bus into your Vertica database. So if you're talking about the web logs or the internet session logs, or let's suppose AT&T, maybe there are, whenever the users are connected to the internet, their sessions informations or their towers informations coming, because these are the logs which are pretty high. If we consider a full day scenario, there may be huge amount of logs, and if you want to integrate those logs directly with the Vertica system, we can use the Apache Kafka. Integration with the Spark. Load Vertica data into Spark and operations on structured data. As you know, Spark is pretty fast execution engine on top of Hadoop setup. So Vertica has the connectivity with the Spark as well. Machine learning. Things are available for the machine learning as well, for predictive kind of analytics. So you can utilize the Vertica database for the machine learning as well. It can give you recommendations and predictions. Guys, please let me know if you have any questions, or raise your hand, type your questions. So what are the main features or the main advantages of Vertica database? It's a pure columnar DB, high availability, massive parallel processing, terabyte, petabyte of data, automatic DB design. Automatic DB design is basically Vertica provide you certain features where even if developer have access of this DB design, you can perform 80% task of a DB. A developer can perform 80% task of a DB. Vertica is analytical DB, advanced compression. That makes sense because it's columnar database, so compressions is pretty good here, and it will help you to save a lot of space. And application integration. Application integration means like connected from any ETL or any data visualization or reporting tools. So if we compare this Vertica with Teradata or Oracle or Greenplum, so here just one shot of this comparison. So you can see description. I mean, there are different kind of. I just compare with the 4 databases: Teradata, SAP HANA, Oracle, and Vertica. So one more thing, guys. I mean, Vertica is not meant for this OLTP kind of system. It is basically for the OLAP kind of operations. Because Vertica is not damn good to completely replace Oracle. It would not help you if you are having very frequent update and delete kind of operations. So Vertica is basically meant for analytics and the OLAP kind of system. So here you can see Teradata, because it is for the data warehouse, SAP HANA pure in-memory system. Vertica is not pure in-memory system. Vertica follow the concept of in-memory, but unlike SAP HANA, it is not pure in-memory system. Yeah, it is RDBMS. These are the developers. And SQL, yes. If you know SQL, it's I mean, you can easily learn Vertica. It's 90% it follow the NC SQL, just the syntax difference. APIs and other access methods. This Vertica is connected, but Vertica can be connected with this ADO.NET, JDBC, ODBC. A few things about Vertica. Since it is an analytical database, there is no trigger in Vertica, no cursor in Vertica. Okay, unlike other databases. MapReduce, yes, you can directly execute. I mean, Hadoop facilities, and Hadoop can run this MapReduce on top of Vertica database. And in-memory capabilities, yes, but it's not purely in-memory. So comparison in terms of hardware, license, and development. So basically, if we see here, why companies are going with this Teradata replacement or Hadoop or Oracle replacement with Vertica? Not exactly 100% Oracle replacement, but yeah, Teradata or other data warehouse system, they are trying to replace with Vertica because Teradata licensing cost and everything is pretty high.
Sorry to interrupt. I think there is one question. Yeah. Ashwini has asked something in the chat.
1 second. But I'm unable to see in chat window basically. Okay. I think Ashwini only sent it to you.
Maybe. So the question which Ashwini asked is, Vertica is a ecosystems of Hadoop and a question mark.
No, Ashwini, it's not an ecosystem. Vertica is again a database which is out of Hadoop ecosystem, but you can utilize Vertica with Hadoop. It's not an ecosystem. Hadoop ecosystem is completely different. Vertica is a pure RDBMS provided by HPE. Okay. So here you can see the Vertica. It's again a commodity hardware, price-based. Yes, that is pretty less compared to Teradata or Greenplum. And you can see here the diagram itself shows the hardware cost, license cost, and development cost. So this is the Vertica latest version available in the market. I mean, they started with the 4.1 something in around 2012 or 11. And now it is the latest version is 7.2.3 with the additions of the Kafka integration, UI management console, execution engine optimization, and catalog engine. We'll see these things in details. What is management console? What is database designer? Okay, I hope you guys are clear about this columnar database, but still I can explain you what is a columnar database basically. So the goal of the columnar database is to efficiently write and read data to and from the hard disk storage in order to speed up the time it takes to return a query. Basically, to just save our IOs, operations and all, data is separating or data is storing in forms of columns instead of row, because we can save full table scan instead of going with the, I mean, we can directly read the data from the columns. I mean, if I want to execute a query only with the 3 columns of my table, why should I go with all the 100 columns available in the table? So here you can see if my table employee has the 100 columns and I want only 3 columns details. So in traditional databases like Oracle and all, I just need to go with my query will scan all the 100 columns. But in Vertica, what we can do, or any other columnar database, what we can do, we can only store 3 columns in database point of view, and we can access it. So basically, one of the main benefits of the columnar database, this aggregate operations, min, max, sum, count, average, since it is storing the same kind of data in a single column. So performance very good. Another benefit, Vertica is there's no concept of index in Vertica. It is self-indexing. You cannot create a separate index in Vertica. Okay, but there's a new concept, they call it TXT index, that is only for your stemming kind of thing. It is available, but it is not a traditional index concept in Vertica. Okay, so here one simple example of this columnar database. So here you can see in green how it looks like, if it is row wise how it looks, and if it is column wise how it looks. So 1 second, I think some questions. Okay, so now we'll discuss about certain Vertica features like column orientation, high availability, and few other things. So Vertica column oriented allow for efficient data compression. We can skip unwanted columns when querying. More efficient aggregate value calculations, significant reduction of I/O, and each column is stored separately on disk. One more thing I want to tell you that what are the different use cases of Vertica currently. A few companies implemented Vertica on top of Teradata. Let's suppose right now they are using Teradata as their traditional data warehouse system, and they are for their dashboard or the data visualization report, they are using Teradata and pulling the report from the Teradata as a base database. Now what company is basically doing, they are extracting the required data from Teradata to Vertica and loading into Vertica, and then they are running their reports on top of Vertica. Means they are executing all the queries, all the select operations from Vertica instead of Teradata, because Vertica read operations is pretty high and it is a pure columnar database. So I mean it usually help them to execute the queries very faster compared to TD. It is like 20 to 100x faster if we compare to Teradata. So this is one use case. Or companies are purely replacing their warehouse system, because Vertica can properly connect with your data warehouse, I mean data stage or Informatica. So what you can do, you can use Vertica as a traditional data warehouse system as well. How data looks like in Vertica, I mean how we can see the data in Vertica, how basically data is stored in Vertica. They call it projections. So it's called a Vertica backbone basically. Projection is nothing in other database. If we compare, projection is like the materialized view. Projection is basically nothing, is a column of the table columns, collection of basically table columns. Vertica table is logical concept, while projection is a physical concept. Means in Vertica we can create table, but until unless we are not loading the data, there is no projection creation. Once we start to load the data, projection is created. So projection is basically for data. Whenever we are selecting the data, it usually comes from the projection. Even in Vertica explain plan also, you can see which projection you are getting the data, and it is the responsibility of the execution engine or the optimizer. Whatever the best projection, it will pick. There may be one or more than one projections per table. Projections similar to the materialized views. Table has one or more projections. Data can be duplicated in projection for the query efficiency. Because let's suppose you have employee table and you can create 3 to 5 projections or whatever version you want, because if you have certain dedicated queries, you can obviously create your query specific positions as well. And transparent to end user and application, because end user never know which position he or she is getting the data or his applications. High availability. This is Vertica again follow this cluster and node architecture. So high availability must be there. If a node fails, a copy is available on one of the peer nodes in the cluster. Automatically recover missing data by querying other nodes. Data segment distributed across cluster nodes. Data replicate. So basically this segmentation and replication, these are the two different approach to achieve the high availability. Segmentation means we can segment a big amount of data into the different nodes. Means let's suppose if I have 300 rows, what I can do if I have a 3-node cluster, what I can do, I can load 100 rows in one node, another 100 in second node, and another 100 in the third node, and then I can maintain a different copy of the data into another nodes to achieve the high availability. In case of replication, I can replicate whole amount of data on each and every node. So basically replication we use for the dimension table, and segmentation we use for the fact table. All nodes can respond to the queries. You can achieve high availability either at replication or segmentation. These all things are available during our lab exercise as well. So here we can see the application integration, the proper integration with ETL tools like Informatica, DataStage, Talent, Pentaho. Integration with the Hadoop. Can use HDFS as a Vertica storage. One second. Can I install Vertica Linux and use it if it's how the data is stored and distributed systems? Okay. Yeah, Shuni, you can install Vertica on the Linux. There are RPM files available. If you want for the personal use, you can download it from my.vertica.com RPM file, and then you can install it on the RHEL or whatever the version you're using. If yes, how data file in distributed systems. So basically, whenever you are installing Vertica, it depends on the, how many nodes you are installing, and after that, Vertica usually create data folder and the catalog folder. Inside data folder, you can see how your data file looks like. In Vertica 7.2, initially it was before 7.2.3, they called it PIDX and FDB. PIDX basically contain the indexing information, FDB for the data file, but 7.2.3 they changed this thing to one single file. So you can go into data folder after installation, and you can see how your data looks like. There are a lot of folders available regarding your data loading. Basically, they call it the file system. They call it ROS files, basically ROS containers in basically Vertica. They call it read optimized storage containers in Vertica. The file system called it the ROS containers. Naveen, please check with him. If the question is clear. Okay. So application integration with Hadoop, support SQL, ODBC, JDBC, .NET, and majority of ETL and BI reporting products. Simple integration with reporting and analytical tools like Tableau, Cognos, View, Spotify, MicroStrategy, ClickView. So each and every functionality is available. You have all the drivers, you have everything available, and you can actually connect with Vertica with the ClickSense, ClickView. Here we go with the Vertica admin tools. So there are two things available even without DBA support. Also, if you have access, you can perform certain kind of operations if immediate time DBA is not available. One is called Database Designer. DBT basically perform tasks like DBA, means it will generate new optimized projection on behalf of given input files. Input files should contain a query like select, update, delete, and sufficient amount of data in tables. So let's suppose you are creating a new system or new data warehouse system. Okay. initial system you have only one projections on a table, but later you think you need to optimize certain kind of or whatever the queries you are running on the Vertica system. These are the like time taking queries. So what you can do, you can pass your select queries. I mean, if we are talking about the dashboard point of view, you may have some very fixed kind of queries which you are running on a dashboard daily basis. So what you can do, you can pass these select queries to the DBD, and DBD will generate a perfect optimized projection for you, and after that you can see a tremendous change in the performance. So what you can do, you can generate projections from database designer. Even you can deploy the projection from database designer as well, but if you want, you can deploy it manually. You can create projections manually also if you don't want to execute via DBD. Management console is again like Teradata viewpoint. I mean, with the help of this, you can monitor whole Vertica cluster like performance, DB space, time taking queries, graphical view of database, monitoring charts, tuning recommendations. Each and everything you can monitor from management console itself. You can create a new cluster itself. Third thing, they call it admin tools itself. That is like this admin tools is available on console, Vertica console itself. There also you can perform all the DB activities like license key modification, create a new database, drop a database, start database. You can add new host there, rebalancing the data. Where after adding the new node, you can rebalance the data. Vertica has certain kind of facility like other databases. You can rebalance and then you can query the data. What are different kind of jobs in market, like Vertica core developer jobs are available in the market, or performance tuning expert, DBAs, which are like very hot in market right now, and migration experts, like some other databases. Companies are working on some other databases and they are looking for the migration experts. I mean, who can help them to migrate their existing data warehouse system to the Vertica. So these are certain use cases or the big companies using for the Vertica. So basically like web click stream analysis benchmark. These are the certain benchmark. You can see that certain companies use cases basically. Then you can see this call detail record, 1.5 billion calls, how Vertica easily handled that, and with the performance effective as well as the cost effective. Right now, a lot of big companies are using this Vertica database. I'll tell you other companies. So basically, Vertica markets and knowledge opportunities, save billions of dollars in terms of license and the hardware cost, skip costly hardware upgrades, designed for scale, means scale out. We can easily do this to just add the hardware. Easy database administration. If we compare to other databases like Oracle and Teradata, but DB admin is pretty easy in Vertica. Vertica is pretty used by this healthcare and the patient analysis. Communication and service providers also, financial services also using, like Bank of America and some other clients also using. Public sectors. One second. HBase is completely basically for this Hadoop ecosystem. While Vertica is true columnar database, and it is like different vendor products. Okay. As well as Vertica is pure columnar. It can help you in different way to add the commodity servers, while HBase only run on your this Hadoop cluster. And it is like Apache Hadoop and following the concept of the big table, while Vertica is like column-oriented database. HBase wide column storage, while Vertica is traditional RDBMS follow. HBase is your, I guess it's open source, while Vertica is pretty commercial. And if we're talking about the schema point of view, okay, fine, thanks. Schema point of view also, this there's no concept of indexing in both the databases. HBasis is schema free, while Vertica follows the schema set and all. So here we can see that, yeah, it follows. Yeah. So say millions of dollars in license and hardware costs, skip costly hard costly hardware upgrades. Like unlike that, I mean, if you're adding a new node, it's really going to be very costly. While in Vertica, you just need to add certain kind of hardware, or the same config hardware, whatever your cluster is running, and you can add the new nodes with the same cost. Retail, web, and gaming, and clients like Facebook, Apple. Apple is very drastically using Vertica. Even Facebook also using Vertica for their certain kind of operations, Vertica with Python. Jinga, Uber, Bank of America, Deutsche Bank, AT&T, MTS India, Cardialytics, Qantas Airlines, Good Data Analytics. For the gaming purpose also, there's a big gaming company, they're also using Vertica. Guys, I'm passing it to Naveen. He will explain you a few other things.
Thanks.
And if you have any questions, yeah. Thanks, Naveen. Yeah.
Thanks, Abhishek. I can take the last two slides. So, guys, there are few benefits if you join training with myTechEntity. First of all these sessions are live instructor-led course. You will get a like how we are conducting this webinar. Similar fashion, all the other sessions of the batches will be conducted. You can attend these sessions from your mobile, tablet, laptop, from any device and from any place, from your office, from your home at your convenience. There is one unique point that with each course you will get your own personal LMS, that is learning management system. So we will upload all the materials as well as the training recordings will be uploaded to your LMS. So in case you want to revise some of the topics, you want to revise the previous batch, you can just log into the LMS and you can get access of all these recordings as well as the complete training material. So as soon as you register with us, your LMS will be activated. And with us, you will get the 24/7 tech support. In case you have any questions, doubts, you can send a mail to our tech team and they will reply back to you as soon as possible. And now there is one additional benefit, like this is for all the participants who are currently in USA. We also offer free placement assistance. We help you in your resume building as well as the interview preparation. So how this free placement assistant works, I just wanted to give some brief points about this. So once you've done this course with us with myTechEntity, we will help you build your resume in HP Vertica, and we have a tie-up with several consultancies here. So we will forward your resume to them. In case they have any requirement which suits your profile, you fulfills that requirement, they will contact you separately, and then things will move forward. So this free placement assistance is with each course of myTechEntity. It is without any additional cost. It comes under the course fees itself. Okay, Ashwin, you can forward your queries to the email ID you are seeing on your screen, that is contact@mytechentity.com. You can also call on our USA toll-free number 888-251-7117. Please do like us on Facebook. I will send you this PPT after end of this session. So if you like us on Facebook, you will get some really important updates, some tools and tips, some tricks about HP Vertica and other courses which we are running. So just please like us on Facebook. And